Welcome to today's video. It has been a couple of weeks since we officially finished our school year. It feels like the year flew by, and today I'm going to be doing some end of year cleaning and decluttering, organizing, just kind of getting things ready for all of the new curriculum and supplies we'll be using in the fall. I'm trying to stay in a good routine this summer, even though our schedule is a little bit less typical than normal. One thing you can always count on in our house in the morning is coffee. I want to thank 7 Weeks Coffee for sponsoring today's video. If you are one of my newsletter subscribers, or if you watched my favorite things video, you know I love this company, their coffee, and what they stand for. My husband and I have been enjoying 7 Weeks Coffee for months now, and I'm so happy to share about them with you. This is a company whose mission is to promote godly values, provide excellent coffee, and protect every beating heart by supporting pro-life organizations. 7 Weeks Coffee is as clean as it gets. It's harvested naturally. They use organic, direct trade farming practices, and they actually personally know every farmer who grows their coffee. This coffee is also mold and toxin free, and it's very low in acid, which means it's easy on your stomach. At 7 weeks of development, a baby is the size of a coffee bean and a heartbeat is clearly detectable. It is never morally right to kill an unborn human being, someone fearfully and wonderfully made by God. And this is something Josh and I feel strongly about, and we love supporting this company. 10% of every sale is given to pregnancy centers nationwide, which is about 50% of their profits. And you know what? It matters how we spend our money. Sometimes we don't know what to do to help support certain causes. This is an easy way you can make a difference with your dollars if you're able to do so. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out for yourself and use the coupon code BLESSED10 to save 10% on your order. We are members of their Heartbeat Club, which is just a subscription service for their coffee, and we really love the Hope Blend and the Ethiopia Light Roast if you're wondering what you might try first. Even though it's summer, it's been super busy around here. We've been having a lot of fun already, and today my girls are going to a strings music camp. One of them plays violin and the other plays the cello. So I'm going to run my girls to camp. My boys are staying here while Josh is working. I've got my 7 Weeks Coffee ready to go, and when I get back, I'm going to check in on things here and hopefully start organizing. All right, so if you watched my video about sharing our homeschooling space, you know that our kitchen is our main homeschool area. My kids do have desks in our other room. I might tackle those today if I have time, but really today is going to be to focus on getting all of our stuff in here organized and put away. Honestly, there's not a ton to do because I tend to keep things pretty organized as we go throughout the year. And I'm just someone who needs a place for everything and doesn't like a lot of clutter. And that makes it pretty easy for me to kind of organize at the end of the year. In our state, the only thing that we have to hang on to is, well, we have to keep an hours log, and I do that online. And we need to hang on to samples of work that we've done throughout the year. I tend to hang on to most things. I have a hard time getting rid of things, but for us that really includes a binder or two of work that we've done. So this year we used My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures. So I already have binders of work for my kids for that. And then we have a couple of workbooks that we've done. Now, could I pull just a few pages from the workbooks and file those away? Yes, and that would definitely save me some space. But even though I haven't really had to go back and look through a lot of our work from previous years, so I've saved a lot of stuff. I haven't often had to go back and go through it. I have a hard time tossing the workbooks and things like that right now. Luckily, we have some space in the basement where I store some things, and as my kids have gotten older, there have been less things I've needed to store as some of their work has been online, so I am still okay with keeping it. As far as old teacher manuals and curriculum, the things that my older kids use, I'm saving because I've got a 5-year-old and I know I'm going to use a lot of it again with him, most likely. Once my youngest is done with things, I tend to store them. I've been storing them, and it's always turned out that I have a friend or someone who I can share things with when we're done with them. We also have a homeschool bookstore in town that does consignment, so I do have a box already started for things to take there. What I would recommend to you is that if you know you aren't going to use your curriculum again, use this time at the end of the year to try to sell it or give it away. Do it before you have stuff piled up and it's overwhelming. And also, depending on your storage or space situation, determine what you really need to save as far as schoolwork goes and recycle the rest. I know I could take my own advice on this. I know now that there have been a few years of space between things, I can probably go back and start recycling some things from, I don't know, 5 years ago, and maybe it wouldn't be as hard, but it's going to be a lot more work now and I don't want to do it. So don't be like me, recycle and get rid of what you can unless you need to save things for your state records. Okay, so I brought in my file box. This is a box that I started at the beginning of the year for each of my older kids. So they each have a file folder, and this is where I just keep things that they have done. That there's some math papers in here. I probably don't need to save all of those, but there are some different papers they've written, things that they've done, certificates. So I just keep some of that stuff in here. This is kind of like their main portfolio that I know I want to save. And then in the rest of the file box, I'll just stick our binders in here and things that we've done throughout the school year. My preschooler has his own file box, and he has his own because I'm using that box for both years of preschool, and then I might even be able to fit his kindergarten stuff in there too. So that's just gonna be his individual box. But I definitely recommend setting up something like this just to have it at the beginning of the year. That way when you go through, you have a place where you can just file some of those projects and papers or anything you might need for your homeschool portfolio that you aren't keeping somewhere else or you're not keeping online. Okay, so the plan today, what we're gonna do is we're going to just kind of tidy up this space. Each of my kids has their own shelf right here with some books in it, their notebooks, language arts. And so I'm gonna go through and pull all of that stuff out. I'm going to go through and just organize all of this stuff that we've kind of used last year. So the binders are gonna go away. I'm gonna find a place for the books. I have a bin that I'm storing all of our My Father's World curriculum in. So the books that we're using for exploring countries and cultures, the teachers' manuals, things like that, those are gonna all go in just one big bin where, like I said, I've got all of my curriculum for My Father's World over the years. So it's really easy to find if I either need to share it with somebody or for when I wanna use it later for my little one. Again, just organizing, finding a spot. We're gonna be doing all about spelling level 3. So I think I'm gonna need to reuse our boxes. I'm gonna see how I can organize and maybe consolidate these so I can use one box for both of my girls next year. I've had all this stuff up on our bulletin board forever. So I'm gonna figure out what I can take down, make some room for stuff that we're gonna be using next year. Just a couple things to clean off of the whiteboard. That is not looking too bad. Under here is where I had our science box. This was our Sunlight Science. So I'm gonna go through, probably pull some papers out of their science binders and put in my portfolio bin because I don't think I need to save everything in there. So I'm gonna pull some of that out. I can reuse those binders and then probably find a space downstairs to store the manuals. And we have a couple of supplies left over, so I'll probably hang on to those, I don't know for how long, but for just a little bit. I did buy an extra tub. That is going to be, what did I buy that for? I'm pretty sure I got that for the preschool curriculum. So I'm storing my son's work that he has done in preschool in his own bin, but that I'm gonna use for our Voyage of Discovery books, teacher manuals, and things like that. I have a separate crate that I use for all of our kindergarten stuff, just because there are a lot of books and things that come with it. So I think I'm gonna use this for our curriculum this year, and then it'll have extra space in it that I can add to it or use it for something else in the future. This is where I kept a lot of our stuff for preschool, so maybe I'm not gonna have a lot of extra room in that bin. There's a lot of stuff that came with it. So I'm gonna go through this and kind of take out the stuff that we aren't gonna need for next year and make room for organizing things later. And I don't think there's some, this is like my random thing, but there's nothing curriculum related in here. I'll probably look through here and see if there's anything I need to tidy up as well. And let's see, while we are doing that, Oliver really wanted to work on reading eggs. So I told him I would get him set up on reading eggs on my laptop, and he's gonna be working on that as I do some cleaning and organizing. So there are a couple of things that I recommend doing either at the beginning of your homeschool year or during that make it much easier to get everything organized at the end. The first thing I recommend is getting a file box or two and creating a file folder for each of your kids. And this is going to serve as a place you can store any loose papers you want to keep for a portfolio of sorts. Now what you keep is up to you. You might have to keep certain things for those state requirements, or you simply might just keep their best work or work that shows progress as you go through your year. That's up to you. Even if you want to keep everything, like me, I still recommend having a folder or binder where you put your portfolio together as kind of a showcase or summary of your homeschool year. Because when I do go in and declutter all of that old stuff, everything else is going to get tossed, but I will for sure keep the portfolio folders as keepsakes. I remember the first year we did BJU Press curriculum, and it was very worksheet heavy, and I didn't sort things very well as I went. I had big binders for each subject, and I didn't even think to pull out the best things as we went and just set them aside as proof of what we've been learning and working on. And at the end of the year, it took me forever to go through and piece together things for a little portfolio or decide what I wanted to keep. So it definitely saves time if you do this. You could use one box for all kids. That's what I do, one file box. Or at least I start with this, and if I end up having too many things, I just use a second box. But last year, everything fit in one box. We will see how it goes this year. The other thing I recommend doing is just figuring out how you're going to utilize all of your spaces at the beginning of the year, how you're going to store things, how you're going to organize your curriculum, and things like that. Again, that's going to be different for you than it is for me, depending on what you're using and how you like to do things, what your space looks like. But don't wait until the school year starts to just open up the curriculum and go. Take some time to plan out how you're going to store papers and projects, what your organization is going to be like. It's so helpful to not only know exactly where things are when you want to use them during the day, but to have systems in place that make it easy for our kids, like the binders that we used this year for my Father's World curriculum. They knew exactly where things were and how they were supposed to use them during the homeschool week. Finally, this might seem like a silly little thing, but a few years ago, I made these little pencil boxes for my kids and put their names on them, and these are their personal boxes they get when we are all working together. They get these out, and I put colored pencils, markers, a Sharpie, a pen, things like that in them, because yes, we do have some communal items to use, but when they all have their own supplies, it's just more fun and there's less fighting over things. Okay, that's enough chatting. I'm going to get started on going through some of the things over here. I'm not gonna do a ton of organizing today for the new school year. That is gonna wait for another day when I pull out all of our supplies and new curriculum and organize it. Today, it will just feel good to get this done, declutter, have a clean slate to start on when setting up for the new school year, and I've got about an hour and a half until I have to go pick up my girls from their music camp.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover, agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond a bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover, agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes. Undercover, agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond
Okay, so it's taking me a little bit longer than I thought. I stayed pretty organized, but still needed to carve out a good chunk of time to pull everything out and get it clean. This is what my table looks like right now. I just got done pulling my preschool stuff out of the cabinet and the drawer, so I'm going to be organizing that, but I have to go pick up my girls from camp right now. So we're gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna come back and finish up all of this stuff.
all I need, and I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love. Tell me what you wanna do. I'll do anything. As long as I can be here with you, everything's alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love, love.
Okay, so everything is kind of put away and clean from what I need to do. This stuff right here, I just need to go and store. So I'm gonna put these downstairs in one of our bins where I have all about spelling, all about learning press stuff. I do have another box I'm gonna use that I decided to use for all about spelling level 3, and I had an extra set of dividers. So I'm gonna keep these out, and these are just going to go in my office, and we're gonna use them with our all about spelling this next year. I already put away some of our books that I wanna keep out for our reference books, so I need to go put these on our bookshelf. These are teacher guides. I'm gonna go put these downstairs. I have a bin where I store just miscellaneous curriculum and things like that in case I want to use them in the future. When I decide I'm not gonna need them anymore, I'll either sell them or give them away. So same with this right here. And then these are all of, again, just curriculum that I need to store. I'm gonna hang on to one of these books. The other two I'm going to sell. And then these are all things that I don't really need out anymore that were from our My Father's World Exploring Countries and Cultures. So all of this I'm feeling really good about. It's all cleaned, tidy, ready for new stuff to come in. We're still working through our biblical worldview. We've taken it really slowly, so that is going to continue this next year, which is why I still have our books out and our teacher manuals for that. This is a binder where I store a lot of our math stuff. So for CTC math, I keep our tracking sheets and everything in here for math. So I'm going to be keeping this out. My girls and I are doing this over the summer, so that is staying here. And then my son is still working on his Science Shepherd throughout the summer, so I've got my answer key here. And then Latin, we are doing our Latin review books over the summer, so these are just going to stay in a pile here until we get done with that. Over here, these are some of our read aloud books. These are two we didn't actually finish from Exploring Countries and Culture, so as we have time, we're kind of working through some of this stuff over here. This cabinet is all clean. These are just some extra supplies we didn't use that I'm kind of storing to see what I want to do with them later. My old science crate, this is probably going to become our book basket or not our book basket, our morning basket that we're going to use next year, unless I find a cuter basket and want to use that for something else. But overall, everything is finished, and it's just really nice to be done with all of that. All right, you guys, I think that's about it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below sharing some tips with everybody about organizing at the end of the homeschool year. And make sure to check out the link in the description to shop 7 Weeks Coffee. You can join the pro-life coffee movement today and purchase some amazing homeschool fuel to help jumpstart your days. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.